Welcome, Air Sign Collective, to your general reading, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. My name is Orisi, and this is Aqua Vision Tarot. Take what resonates and relinquish what the fuck don't. Remember, time is fluid, so at any time when you watch this video, this could be confirming or validating events from your past, could be energy that's currently around you, or this could be energy in your near future. If you happen to be cross watching an air sign, or you have air somewhere in your birth chart, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, this reading might be for your ass. So grab your drink. Yes, grab your joint and join me for an air sign collective reading. One on the clock. Let's get into it. What's the central issue here? Maybe somebody was being greedy with love, or somebody here has a wish. Somebody here loves themselves. Hmm. I got something here regarding a boss daddy and maybe somebody that's a little different. Maybe somebody's starting to see something about you that's hidden. Somebody, yeah. What's the central issue here with the collective? I'm getting, yeah. What's the central issue here for Aquarius, Libra, Gemini? Wow. Somebody's really depressed. Okay. Um, wow. Three major arcana here. Yeah, we have Emperor, the Moon, Sun reverse. Wow. Um, the issue, maybe someone around you, a father figure. This Emperor doesn't have to be. It could be a Taurus, Aries energy. Yeah, Cancer, Scorpio, Leo. Wow. There's somebody here did something at night to block your happiness. Somebody's really depressed about it. This Scorpio energy. Or there's this Emperor here that knows what's hidden about why you're not happy. Maybe you're this divine masculine. Yeah, somebody's really depressed because somebody sees you're not happy. But you know what's hidden. There's something hidden that was done at night. This Cancer energy here with this Emperor Aries. Somebody's really sad. They feel they missed an opportunity, or somebody didn't want you to have an opportunity and happiness with someone. Um, what is the, what's the problem here? Why does someone have a? Why is this a problem here? Why was this a problem? Your happiness was a problem for somebody. You know, what is the difference about you? Whoa. Whoa. Holy shit. This could have been a marriage, some ritual, some tradition. Damn, nothing but major arcana here. Confirmation. Whoa. It could be about a year and a half. Maybe it started when you were a year and a half old. Somebody can't let go of some toxic behaviors and they kept something hidden. Could be a father figure, and there's some marriage here that somebody's kept hidden, and there could be somebody that maybe didn't have a child with someone, or knows, or maybe they didn't want someone to know about some child they had that they had with a Cancer, this Aries, Taurus. It's a father figure. Could be a boss daddy. Could have been a workplace romance. or someone just didn't want you to be happy, but you you know someone's bothered, so some institution is bothered, or there's some tradition here, some marriage, some initiation here that somebody did at night to block someone's happiness because it's very binding, it's very toxic, it's very lustful, sexual. Wow. What about the subconscious, please? Tell us more about the subconscious. What does a collective need to know, please? Wow. Whatever you've been working on, um, someone is having to defend themselves from a group of people, or there's somebody here that's taking action to defend something, maybe some secret, and you're hard at work. You're paying close attention to detail. Somebody doesn't like that. This institution, this emperor, this divine mascot, somebody here wants to marry you, and that's somebody's very protective about some marriage, maybe, or something here that they did with the group at night. And it has to do with some work that you're doing. Somebody's really looking and you could be getting a promotion. Somebody's mastered something. And maybe you're very protective of something that's very traditional. In the recent past, please. What does the collective need to know? Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Wow. If you want to come out with a book. In the recent past, please. Tell us about the recent past. Somebody knows somebody was protecting something from people, or has to defend themselves. Someone's protecting something from a group of people. Some actions they took. Somebody did something and they're now having to, yeah, they're having to defend themselves. And someone is using the church or some religious organization, an institution, some initiation. Wow. There's some investigation that someone, wait, this wants to come to Wheel of Fortune, Hermit. Yeah, somebody was looking into something in the recent past about what somebody was. Maybe you said something to someone, Page of Swords. Somebody said something, and somebody wants to know how you knew something, but it's maybe because you went within, you were in isolation, and there's some Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Yeah, there's something here about this Virgo energy. Doesn't it could be the Hermit. Somebody went within. Somebody is guided. Somebody's looking with. They went within. Somebody has gone within to learn things. They've trusted themselves, and that's what this Page of Swords is. This is someone who's young, someone who's very eager to look into things, investigating. Somebody could have been. Somebody could have. You could have said something to someone, maybe a boss, and they are bothered because of some organization they belong to. And now someone is having to defend themselves. It's in the subconscious here. The moon, somebody doesn't want somebody knows what someone did about maybe hiding you not being happy, or someone doing something at night. This emperor did something at night about blocking someone's happiness, a child. Somebody may not have known what somebody uh, committed themselves to, or they were a part of, and now they're happy. Yeah, yeah. The screen was going crazy right now. That's confirmation. 10:20 on the clock. Hopes and fears, or intentions, expectations. Shit, major arcana right here. This is right here, just in the fucking issue. Wow, this is heavy. Fucking Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Shit. There's a lot of cards here. King of Pentacles, Lovers, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords, Reverse, Page of Cups. Wow. Somebody could have gotten married. Somebody's out in the cold. Somebody's without resources. Somebody didn't want you to know something that they did, and it has to do with some organization, some tradition, some belief system. Yeah. Wow. Intentions, expectations, please. There's something here about somebody. There was some father figure, boss daddy here that did something at night to block something from a group of people or organization, and they're having to defend themselves because they're being investigated. Somebody's looking into something because there's this transition or something is ending. Somebody knows it. Wow. Intentions, expectations, please. Yeah. Somebody could have had a child that they kept hidden. Whoa. Nine of Swords. It's Gemini. Yeah, somebody here is expecting to be in a nightmare about what they did. Somebody's having to, yeah, they're expecting to be in a nightmare. And that's why this Hierophant here, it could be a leader, it could be two people working together. And about what they stole, what they did to deceive someone. There's two people here that are still left here. They're looking back at these two people. And there's something religious about these two because he's looking at them while he's running away. Three in one, two in the other. Maybe they did this over time and now it's catching up to them. And it's something you said because there's some actions that were taken that someone knows about. And it's got someone losing sleep over. Someone's not sleeping well. This emperor who did something, maybe this boss daddy, and something about someone's happiness. Somebody didn't want you to be happy. They ended something with a child. The moon, the sun river. This is like somebody here who is duplicitous. The sun reverse, the moon reverse. Somebody here portrayed themselves to be somebody, but they were dark, and they're expecting you to be in a nightmare, or they were expecting you to be, or they're intending on you being in a nightmare. In the near future, what does a collective need to know about the near future? Fucking shit, I need a drink. In the near future, what the fuck is this? Somebody around you. This could be your father. It could be somebody, it could be your boss. Somebody did something because they saw somebody was jealous. It could be bigotry. In the near future, please. There's some good luck coming your way because of what somebody took from you. This emperor here was doing some fuck shit at night with an organization behind him. And this organization is has a problem with what they were doing because something is coming to an end, the Scorpio energy, about what somebody was being investigated in. Because you passed something or someone knew about your good luck. Heavy major arcana out here. Fuck. Wow, this is crazy. The lens we're looking through, please. What is it? Check the book about the lens we're looking through. High priestess. Wow. Yeah, you're very intuitive. Somebody here is not balanced. Somebody here lost control of something. Yeah, they're not balanced. This emperor is not, somebody's not balanced. And it's because you, you follow this hierarchy of beliefs, tradition. You have hidden mysteries. You know about the hidden mysteries. You could have Pisces in your chart. Yeah. Or this could be about a Pisces, maybe that, yeah, Two of Pentacles reversed. Somebody's not able to balance something between night and day. You're balanced here. You have hidden mysteries. There's a Hierophant. This is tradition. This could be a marriage. This could be about a marriage. Somebody hid a marriage, but you knew something. Yeah, you investigated. You may not have learned something traditionally, and somebody kept that from you. And now there's an ending. There's something about an ending here, a transition. In the environment, please. What is it thinking about the environment? Yeah, this Piscean energy here. Somebody has a new perspective. Somebody's seeing something from a new perspective about you. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of options, and somebody you pass something. They can't keep up with you. They don't know what you're doing, but it's good luck. Somebody here isn't balanced. Somebody's hiding something, and for some reason, you have a lot of options in love. You have good luck. You pass something. Yeah. Yeah, because you see something from a new perspective. Yeah, they wanted you stuck. Somebody wanted you stuck, or someone is stuck regarding your good fortune, and they can't figure out how you did it. Somebody can't figure out how you did something. How there's somebody here that was protecting something that they did from a group of people, or somebody is protected from a group of people, and it's this hangman. Yeah, this Piscean energy here. Hopes and fears, please. What does the collective mean about the hopes and fears? Think about somebody's afraid of this decision they have to make, or somebody's afraid they made a bad decision when it came to going to stabbing you in the back 10 times. They're in a nightmare. They're losing sleep over something they did, and they're not talking about it. And it has a major ramifications. They couldn't juggle something regarding this betrayal. It could be a boss daddy, it's a father, an uncle, somebody, an older, yeah, it's an older man, it's a masculine. And what's the outcome, please? What does the collective need to know about the outcome? Eight of Cups. Something about somebody has moved on from a very bad relationship. or some in the outcome somebody's healing, somebody needs to heal because somebody was bullying someone. Wow. Maybe this somebody could have been maybe this Aquarius. You might be dealing with another Aquarius. Eight of Cups. We got Pisces. You might be dealing with an Aquarius Pisces cusper, and they know something. Maybe this Gemini. Yeah, you got Aquarius in the environment here. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we have Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy. Wow. There was this somebody bullied someone so they wouldn't uh, marry someone, or someone did something at night to block something, but somebody looked into it. Somebody knows something from a higher perspective. Somebody has some intuition on something, but they were discrediting you maybe. Yeah, they're really disturbed about this. Yeah, they might be 57 years old. Maybe somebody's been doing this for over 12 years. Yeah, somebody's really irritated about something and it got them in a nightmare. And it, this could be an institution or a marriage. What does the collective need to know about? Somebody betrayed you in a marriage, or there's something about a betrayal in a marriage. Wow, third wheel, there it is. Fuck. There could have been a father who maybe had messed around with your spouse and maybe could have gotten someone pregnant, maybe to carry their namesake, because maybe somebody wasn't their child. And if there was somebody couldn't resist being with someone, they were having an affair with someone behind your back. Wow. And now they're really ill about this betrayal because this is spiritual. This could be legal too. Wow. The Hierophant, please. Yeah, somebody's challenged, somebody's bothered by because somebody's getting bad news. Good news reverse. Yeah, somebody's getting bad news. Yeah, there's some bad news about what someone did to you, and they're really bothered by it because they kept it hidden. And now they're having, in subconscious, they're having to defend themselves. Because there's evidence here that somebody collected. Somebody could have maybe did a heritage. They could have done a DNA test. Somebody found something. Somebody came across something because they were being investigated in the recent past. Seven of Wands, please. What does it like me to know about the Seven of Wands and this? Yeah, and the subconscious. Some actions that someone took. They're having to defend themselves now, or somebody knows they have to protect themselves from a group of people about this third party. And it's bad news for whatever traditions or belief systems. Somebody's having to make a compromise here. They're having to come up with an agreement on something, and it's hard. Wow. Someone's wanting to apologize for bullying you, or there's someone who being bullied that is wanting an apology, but there's somebody here that can't strategize about, they can't protect themselves. They didn't plan something well. Somebody can't plan something. Strategy reverse, Seven of Wands. This wasn't a good, yeah. Somebody didn't plan on having to defend themselves about this, but now it's being questioned. It's out in the open because somebody was keeping something hidden about what they were doing. Wow. And now they're wanting to apologize. Somebody's feeling really guilty about something. Wow. Could be this Capricorn energy here, Taurus, Aries. This could be Is a Cancer. Wow, I get a Taurus Capricorn. It's a lot of it's a Leo energy out here. Somebody is not happy about something they did at night. Somebody could be very, there could be a daddy, there could be a boss daddy that's extremely paranoid because of some third party. And they're not, and it has to do with someone exposing something that they hid about a child. Because there's some bad news here. This Hierophant is getting bad news because they're being found out about what they, yeah. Wow. In the recent past, please, somebody didn't plan for this. They're in a nightmare. They want out because there's something ending here in the near future. Page of Swords in the recent past. Somebody was bullying you. Somebody was like making up lies about you. They kept trying to cover up shit because of this evidence that somebody was bullying you. Maybe you maybe you posted something online, triumph reverse. Somebody wasn't successful. Somebody wasn't victorious. Somebody knew why somebody was looking into why wasn't somebody didn't want you to there's something about you not being triumphant when it came to looking into something. They didn't want you to succeed at finding something out. They didn't want you to be victorious. They didn't want you they didn't want you to know something, but you found something out about why somebody was so successful. Triumph. Somebody didn't want you to. They looked into somebody's losses. Why was somebody losing something? Why did someone lose something? Somebody said something about maybe a relationship they lost. Maybe you questioned a relationship that ended and somebody knew about a third party, but they kept it from you. And but you, there's something about you having evidence about this third party and the boss daddy bullying you because there's evidence that you have, but they're not wanting to look at it. Somebody won't, maybe you could have said something about why something wasn't lasting for you, something didn't thrive. And now there's somebody was bullying you to so that you wouldn't produce any evidence. Now they weren't expecting to be in a nightmare because they didn't plan for something. Nine of Swords. Wow. Somebody was planning on you being in a nightmare, or somebody can't sleep because of this third party. Nightmare and loss. Wow. Somebody is suffering this loss and they're in a nightmare because there's some bad news here about what somebody did, and now they could go to jail for trying to bully you. Somebody could have said some things against you so that you wouldn't be victorious in a relationship, in a position. Maybe it was a job. Somebody didn't plan something well. They weren't balanced. Somebody couldn't juggle something. They were trying to keep something going, but now it's being exposed about who they were working with. Could have been someone you were with. Wow. Death in the near future, please. What do the clerk need to know about that? Something's ending. Somebody knows. Because can't somebody can't control someone's ending anymore. Or there's something about an ending that someone's not controlling. Right? When it comes to this money, the savings, and your ideas, you know why something didn't turn out right for you. And somebody wanted you constantly in a nightmare that you were you lost out. It was your fault that you're not happy that you didn't. Somebody just kept at you, but they didn't plan that they would have to defend themselves when it came to some bad news. And this initiation, this marriage, there's a marriage here, man. Somebody hid something from a marriage, and maybe you had this spark or this idea, this light bulb that went off because you you were looking into why something wasn't, or there could have been an investigator that somebody wanted to know why you weren't successful in a relationship, or why things didn't, why why you kept coming up short with something, and now they're in a nightmare. But Two of Pentacles, somebody can't control this ending, or someone's ending was they didn't want to control fate. Someone had a bad experience, and they don't. Yeah, someone is homeless. Someone can't get out of someone doesn't want to be homeless because of this bad experience that they juggled. Third wheel. Somebody really regrets juggling. Maybe they didn't want you in this home. They didn't want you in a relationship with someone, or someone didn't want to be in a relationship with you, so they kept something hidden from you. But this experience is bad because there's some good fortune here regarding your options in love, or someone was in a fucking fantasy when it came to this good luck, or someone was in a fantasy about your good luck because somebody wanted you trapped, confined when it came to this bully. In the environment, please. Because they didn't want you to have this blessing. Someone didn't want you to have a blessing. They were jealous. Somebody was jealous. Somebody hid this blessing from you, this good luck. And they wanted to keep you gaslit, confused, paranoid, feeling like you weren't good enough. But somebody here, they couldn't balance something out. They weren't balanced. And so now they don't want to experience this homelessness. They don't want to be, they didn't want you in this home because they thought you couldn't, they thought they could balance this, but they can't. And they didn't learn. So somebody could have done this repeatedly to you. They could have been doing something in the dark behind your back to keep you feeling like you this luck. Somebody's somebody has to make a there's somebody made a bad decision when it came to this luck. And they want to apologize for being a bully to you. Or you could have apologized to someone for being a bully, even though you know they made a bad decision. Because they kept getting maybe somebody was getting lucky off of your demise. They kept doing something to you to hurt you, and every time you'd bring something new, they would step in, and then boom, your blessings were taken. And they just wanted you to feel like you couldn't succeed. And maybe they made you feel like a puppet, like they were controlling things around you. Maybe you didn't fit maybe they thought that you were an easy target to fuck with. But I think you moved on from this. The outcome is Eight of Cups reverse. Somebody did it. Yeah. This whole time you've been you prepared yourself regarding this bully. There were some people here that it could be grandparents. They were, they've been recording, they've been collecting all the things that they've been doing to you. Yeah, because you're this sweetheart who's healed. Somebody didn't like that about you. Somebody didn't like that you would bounce back. And it's because they didn't want you, they wanted you isolated from a family. They didn't want you to be a part of something because there was this third wheel that somebody didn't want you to know about. Yeah. Wow, man. Death in the near future. Somebody can't control something that's ending. They can't control this ending that you're about to experience because you're coming into union with something. You're a sweetheart. Somebody sees that and they know that they wanted your blessings. But somebody abused it because they juggled things and now they didn't they had a bad experience. Or you had a bad experience and you're out of this homelessness because you're not juggling something, a third wheel. You're not juggling a third wheel, maybe. And you know that you could have been victorious had somebody not spied on you, slandered. But there's something here that you were collecting evidence. You know what somebody's been doing to you for years. And it has to do with something in the courts, spiritual, a marriage. Somebody was playing both sides of the fence and it caught up to them. But it came at your expense, which is sad. So, anyways, take what resonates, relinquish what the fuck don't, and love, light, and stay lit, motherfucker.